Guys, I want to do a quick review of the AXIAL Yeti Junior Maverick, whatever you want to call it. It's either going to be Yeti Junior and then you have to go to Maverick, otherwise you get the trophy truck. So there's not a lot of info about these things. There's a couple upgrade parts. There's definitely needed upgrade parts. I'm going to go through what I did, what I like, and where I think you should go with it if you get one. So the price, 179 bucks. It's pretty good. Here's my hand for comparison. It's not really that crazy big. There's the controller. It's 1/18, I believe. Special size tires and wheels. They're going to be a little bit smaller than the regular trophy trucks. Okay, so let's do quick upgrades, what I had to do. So basically from the factory, it's going to come with, all the crap coming out of there. It's going to come with plastic drive shafts, except for the front will be the steel. I believe they're steel drive shafts. The center and the rear are going to be plastic, as well as the rear axles inside are going to be plastic. They don't last long, and the rear diff is not locked at all from the factory. So you have two open diffs, a lot of spinning. Anything that gets it up in the air, your wheel's going to spin. So what I did is I did similar to my regular Yeti that I had years ago, is I put the AXIAL locker in here. This is the AXIAL upgrade part. And I did the AXIAL drive shafts as well, because if you do the locker, the shafts are going to blow. So you do AXIAL locker, AXIAL shafts, do an AXIAL rear drive shaft here. And then on the front end, you get kind of into, you got to get other stuff. So these are metal. I'm going to upgrade them to AXIAL whenever they break or wear out. But the fronts, I think it's GPM. I got that online. You have to search for, metal drive shaft. You know how the normal Google search is. So that you can get a center shaft and Delrin. The center shaft will be steel. The coupler will be Delrin. That will rip out really quick for your stock stuff. You have to get a center shaft with the Delrin, and then the rear shaft with steel locker and the rear axles. You got to get that. You just have to. If you want to run it like you want, you're going to have to get that. So just go ahead and get that. All right. The front, I did right here where it says, I believe it's GPM. It's covered now. But this is a diff support. So that holds the gears and everything where they're supposed to be, so it doesn't like flex around. And it apparently makes the mesh better. They do make a metal cover for this, but I don't think it helps anything. It doesn't really, I don't seem to need it. So the main issue with these things, besides the plastic parts, is the motor. 380 series motor gets hot quick. So on your controller, you have 50, 75, 100. If you run it in 75 and tool around, you're fine. If you put it 100 and you punch this thing a bunch of times, more than about 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, your motor is going to be scorching hot. So I went and got this on Amazon. It's a regular like $9 one heat sink, and for 380 size motor, and it comes with a fan that didn't even work, that apparently everyone knows doesn't work. So I ended up going to the hobby shop and getting a nice fan. This is a Protek RC fan. This thing is crazy. It does not play around. It's audibly loud. Now, how did I wire that in? Because obviously there's no external stuff on your setup. I wired in here onto the steering servo, came out of the steering servo and put in a Y connector, and then ran that down to the fan connector right there. So I ran it in the steering. Yeah, you only get 5 volts, but this thing pushes air, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, I'm on 2S lipo, which it does do from the factory, but it doesn't have a low voltage connection. So you get one of these Venom guys, and it'll literally run through and tell you like I'm at 392. And for the first cell, 391. So this is good above 3 volts. If it gets below 3 volts, it gets loud and it will scream at you. So just go ahead and get that. If you want to run, I run a Venom 2000 like out of my crawlers. So you're going to need that, those two things, and you can run 2S. It's hilarious. It's fast. It's punchy. You can adjust the punch here for the throttle. It's really, once you do all the metal, the fan, the heat sink, and your 2S lipo, the thing's pretty bulletproof. I'm out here just ripping, trying to make something break, and nothing's breaking. I can literally lay into it. So I'm not going to do a lot of like driving around video stuff. This is just a quick, hey, I want a Yeti. It's 175 bucks. How much is it really going to cost me? It's going to cost you 175 bucks. Factor in another 100 bucks to get all the metal parts you need. Leave some of the stuff plastic, so in case you bash into stuff. Down the line, I might do those. The carrier bearings and all that stuff, maybe. but it just depends because that helps with impact. The plastic absorbs the impact. Don't go metal everywhere. So that's where you're at. You're looking at $275, under 300 bucks. You have a hilarious little ripper, and it can go slow and it can kind of crawl. I left the front diff open. So that's what you need to know, because there's not a lot of info out on these things. So I wanted to make that video for y'all. So there you go.